Welcome to Nebraska Preps Postgame.
That's the music in the big voice, guy. That means we are ready for another week of NEB Preps. And on our rotation cycle, I actually caught a couple of breaks. I get Jacob Padilla on a Tuesday with no presser because of volleyball tonight. We don't want to do the same presser on a match night. And we get the third person of the triumvirate, one Michael Jerome Sautter.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How we doing?
Doing well. We're going to mix it up a little bit from week to week, depending. I mean, Sauter's a busy guy. We don't want to tie him down.
He likes the every other week schedule. It keeps him fresh.
Hey, man, I just, if people have been following this podcast for a very long time, it used to be Damon and I.
Yep.
For one show.
One show.
And then it was young Jacob and I. I don't even know how that happened.
I recommended, I was like, hey, I can't do this anymore. Or else
Yeah,
I'm
do you
want to
go with
job.
Yeah, and I was
Do you
like, oh,
want to
that's
go
cool.
with
And it used to make my week too.
Yeah.
I was like,
That first one we did was at Matt's.
I was like,
Remember that?
oh, crack statistician. That was at night.
I know, it was after.
Yeah, that's why.
It was post game.
Yeah, that's the name of the show. We haven't changed it, even though
It was literally on the
else has
Friday after the
Do
game.
you like his aha duh moments? He's like, yeah, ding dong. That's why we called it that.
Well,
I get
back when you were still free on Friday nights and we were going late after going
that
to
was
games.
the vid year, right?
Yep.
I certainly was a
That feels
spectator.
like 27 years.
It does.
Here we are, like 4 years later, still going.
That
Well-
Gretna State Championship feels like a long time ago.
Is that that one? No, that was the year after.
Oh yeah, still feels like.
Yeah,
a
they
long
all-
Because I think
kinda run together.
Westside won it.
Yeah,
They
it
beat
was-
Elk South.
Yeah, that's right. And then
I appreciate the jab though.
I wanted to throw that in there.
I mean, some things never change, right? As we'll start right. You guys want to go right to Class A?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. Right up
All right.
top. Westside still at number 1 there. Trip to Columbus. Win is expected, 48-3. Just the one thing I want to mention is
Braylon Warren.
yes, that too. 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, but 4 different receivers with 3+ catches, 60+ yards, and a 40-yard reception each.
Yeah.
That just kind of speaks to the explosiveness and why Warren can throw for 350 yards in his second start because of what he has around him. And then he had 200 yards and 3 scores on the ground. So Westside's going to be tough. As complete an offensive team as you'll see. And obviously they held them to 3 points as well on defense.
Really starting to. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. I was talking about this with Ravi earlier, and he asked about our offense. With 2 good running backs and 4 or 5 good wide receivers and a good quarterback, do we need an identity? Because every week, I think what you described is how it's got to be, right? 3 or 4 catches, try to maximize.
it's just
It's
so
hard to have one guy.
Well, and that makes it that much harder on the defense where you don't know who to game plan for. You game plan for one guy and they'll beat you with somebody else.
I hope you're right, because that's kind of the goal.
As long as the players know their role and are comfortable in it, I think you'll be fine. And I think congratulations are in order for Christian Jones announcing his commitment to Nebraska on Monday night.
Yeah, really developed. He's come a long way. I mean, he was always a good player, just adding to the tools, kind of in the toolbox.
Hey, the one guy, Eli Johnson, though, is off to a really hot start, like offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
Killing it.
25 yards a touch or so about that. That's
not
big
so much
play waiting.
defensively yet.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Yeah.
playing a little more, but the thing that I'm impressed about is his running after the catch now.
He's got 6
At his
catches for
size, yeah.
158.
He has really become a violent runner. He is hard to get to the ground, which I think just kind of adds to his catch radius because he could always go get it.
No doubt. So a lot of weapons there for Westside, as there are a lot of weapons for Millard South there at 2, who bounced back from that Basha trip to win 56-0 against Millard West. Yeah,
395 and 6 touchdowns. Will do that.
Yeah, that's
Jet Tamala
yeah,
had that.
not bad.
I think they enjoy kind of pouring it on too. I mean, that's a team that.
They could have put up 80.
Wow, really? So that wasn't pouring it on?
I think it could have got worse.
Hmm?
They took the foot off the gas for sure.
Second straight week over 100 yards for Lofton with 111 and 2 scores. Isaac Jensen 688 in a score. So pretty good tight end tandem there. And then you got the transfers from Omaha Central, both catching touchdowns with Deshaun Prince and Amir Hill.
Amir Hill was
He can run.
He can run. After we talk about run after catch, like get that guy the ball and he's gonna go.
Yeah, he can play. He's
You can
fast.
play him a running back too if you need it.
Yeah. So clear top two. We've talked about top tier there. After that is where it kind of gets interesting, and they're at number 3, Elkhorn South. Impressive win, I think.
I thought that was an impressive win as well.
Yeah, it was 38-14 against Bellevue West, and it was close early. In the second half, Elkhorn South just took over and pulled away from them.
So when you're kind of looking at
Debo Light had a game.
the Bellevue West offensively, kind of their evolution or how they have to play, what are you thinking now?
They got the ball. Well, I mean, it looked like
It has to be more than just will.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the key. You got to get some kind of handoff running game. You got to get a running back on. We talked about that's how in the past. Yeah, we know about all the wideouts, but they've had a dual threat running back that really made a difference.
Hey, Caprice carry the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Keith carry the ball a little bit. You got to get him the ball maybe a little more. Find a way. I just think that they're probably just right about average right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of who they are. So
Lost an
the
important piece on
rosters.
defense, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One of their key players that they couldn't really afford to lose.
Yeah, he's done. So not good.
But-
I can't think of his name.
For
Bellevue West.
Hater.
Hater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or his shoulder.
Hmm.
Game 1 in week
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, I saw. So I didn't know what had happened. I saw him down on the ground. Originally, I thought it was a cramp.
Yeah. I think it was a shoulder, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably would have helped slowing down Gavin Shanahan, 143 yards and a score. And then you mentioned Secco.
He is elusive.
Yeah.
Jay and
Se-
Secco, 90 receiving
He's
yards,
unreal.
79 rushing yards and 2 scores, 6 tackles, a tackle for loss, and 3 pass breakups.
When he gets his first offer from somebody, people will be like, oh. And it's going to be like, oh. I'm going to be like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Devin Meyer, I mentioned him last week. He stood out to me against
They're
one of these-
linebackers, Devin.
and
Yeah, go ahead.
McCorder Geiger, the
Yeah.
other one, he had led him in tackles, but Meyer had a 56-yard touchdown on offense to go with his 9 tackles and a sack on defense.
Yeah,
So
they're two.
There's,
Those
I mean,
two
there's,
linebackers.
there's a
are really
reason they're
good.
captains. I mean, those guys are good.
Yeah,
Savvy bunch too.
they're gonna. Elkorn gonna run the ball, man. Like that's what they do. Like, and they're gonna find creative ways to do it too.
speaking of running the ball, that's what Papio-South could not do against Omaha North. Vikings back up to number 4 after a 39-20 win. Held the Titans to 2.6 yards per carry.
That's
on the
2
ground.
weeks in a row. Papio-South hasn't been able to get the ground game going. I'm a little surprised at their start.
Jones is a good back.
He
Like,
is a
yeah.
good back.
They got Millard North this week. That's a
That's got to be. I mean, you're almost in the must-win category right
Getting
now
there.
for Papio-South.
feeling a little bit like it, but
That schedule is not that easy.
no.
No, it's a tough way to start the season with a rivalry game and then facing a team like Omaha North. 3 interceptions. You can't run the ball and giving the ball away. It's just hard to keep up for North, who bounced back again, 39 points after scoring 7 in week 1.
Boy, they handed the football off, didn't they?
That's what they got to do, and that's
I mean,
what they want to do.
how many touches did he get to? He's over 30, right, for
I didn't
carries?
see it, but yeah, that's.
I think he had almost 40 carries.
I guess he's healthy.
That's. I mean, they're gonna get back to their roots. I think that's what Larry likes to do when it gets kind of tough sledding. I mean, he wants to be able to run the football.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got away from that last year a little bit. Now I think they're just that they'll lean into that. And Gao has been good. Like he's been pretty good for them so far. So, and he's pretty. You guys saw. I mean, he can move his feet.
Yeah.
Stuff like
He
move
bought
around.
himself. He bought himself some time against us.
They got a big one this week, Omaha Central on
That
Thursday.
one.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that one's going to be interesting.
Hopefully,
I'll be there.
it's a little
I think.
smoother than last year's game.
Yeah, let's not.
And we're not
stands
talking
and-
about on the field.
Yeah, I'm talking about everything else.
Yes.
Like, let's not have the everything else happen. Like, let's get that under control.
I'll be looking forward to seeing what happens in that one.
Yeah.
We play
coming off-
Central in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Coming off the 47-0 win over South, held South to 33 total yards. So got to bounce back, and now they're ready to take on another tough opponent after that week 1 loss.
Surprised to see these guys kind of slide in at 5, but we'll see. We'll know more after this week because they've got a big one.
Yep.
Kearney,
42-0 over Grand Island. We talked about Kearney.
They haven't allowed a point.
Yeah.
In 2 games.
Yeah. First week, it was at 20-0. Kind of wondering about the offense. This week, the offense got on track against Grand Island. And Novacek, 4 touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing. Samuel Noctegal, 135 yards on the ground.
I like him.
They had 2 different guys with receiving touchdowns, 2 different guys with rushing touchdowns. And then they held Grand Island at 31 yards passing after the Islanders really aired it out in week 1.
They had Grand Island at 136 total yards in the game.
I think that's pretty impressive because I liked Grand. I like Sim and those guys.
Yeah, I mean they're going to spread it out and do all that. So to hold them to 136 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that style, decent warm up for what they're going to face against Millard South there at Buell on Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different.
I'm planning to be there, get a look at Kearney because we've got the rest of the team out at some of the other games on Thursday night. So that'll be the one that I attend. Nice little trip down the street up to Buell for me. So, that's one of the big
Kearney's in the 2 games are allowing 143 yards per game in 2 games.
He usually, defensively kind of comes up with a plan. But I just don't know with so many options, like what you're going to maybe try to limit the big plays. He's done a good job. He's historically been able to find ways to stay in against some explosive offenses like Bellevue West before in the past.
Run the ball and stay on the field offensively.
Yeah. Speaking of a team that could not run the ball, I was at Buell this last week to watch Millard North take on Cherry Creek out of Colorado, and did not go well. 42-10 was the final there. And it really just came down to the fact that they could not run anywhere. Kane Vermas, nowhere to go. He had 1 big play in the pass game, 58-yard gain through the air, but every time he caught it, there were 2-3 guys right in front of him, nowhere to go.
I was impressed with Cherry Creek's defensive line. They had good size.
Yeah, that was the difference in the game. They just controlled the trenches on both sides of the ball and gave their quarterback time. He made some throws down the field. Like Millard North had a tough time staying with those guys on the back end, even when they were able to kind of have some success early in drives, then just gave up the deep pass over the top. Their running back I was impressed with as well. So Cherry Creek, that's a good team. I know they lost week 1, so it's hard to tell kind of what they had, but I was impressed with what I saw from them as a team. And I was impressed with what I saw of Pierce Newberry. He was the only one doing anything on offense. I had him 10 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown, an 8-yard run, which is one of their better runs of the day. And defensively, too, he was all over the place. There was one drive where he had 2 tackles for loss. Then he had a quarterback hurry on a play that got called back by an offensive penalty. And then on the next play, they went the other way, opposite of him, and got a touchdown on the play. So we talked about Millard North still trying to, they got to shore up those kind of spots around their star players to kind of
this one is kind of interesting flying. It's not top 10 matchup, but it'll tell you a ton with them in Papio-South, probably about the trajectory of the season.
Right. A little, and whoever loses, how do you bounce back? Papio-South has some in Westview, which is playing pretty well.
I think they have South down the road.
Like they got some games where like they're gettable. Not saying Westview is, but it's
because I think they go Millard North, Westview, Norfolk, Kearney, then South.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there, right?
And then they close with Burke and Elkhorn South.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be tough.
Coming in at 7 is Lincoln Southeast after a 22-6 win over Lincoln Southwest. And Pierre Allen Jr. had himself a heck of a game there. 15 tackles, a sack, a pick, a pass breakup, a safety, caught 2 passes for 30 yards and carried the ball twice for 18 yards on offense. North Dakota commit, right?
Yeah, North Dakota, yeah.
So had himself a great game there. And then Cash Buenbach toting the rock, Trey Bolin playing well at quarterback spot. So Southeast is kind of firmly establishing themselves as the top team down there in Lincoln.
Yeah, they get prepped this week too. That one's going to be kind of a show.
Pretty
and tell.
interesting. Yeah, we'll see what. And that game's at Central, so it'll be a very intriguing
little show and tell there. I think Coach Young's he needs that one.
Yeah. Get right game this past week, coming off of the disappointing trip down to DeSmet to open the season. So yeah, big chance for Prep to kind of get themselves back onto the radar of, hey, we're still in this thing. Papillion-LaVista, they are very much in this thing. 34-7 over North Star. Different quarterback this week. Arte Vitera was back there, 11 for 17. A couple of touchdowns. Kale Johnson.
Yeah, he had a huge game.
Really good. Really good athlete.
Weeks he's had both sides of the ball. He's had huge.
That's the key. 91 yards and a touchdown on offense, 11 tackles, and a sack on defense, 5 tackles for losses. And Isaac Pamarin, a guy you like, just plays every phase of the game. Completed an 11-yard pass, ran for 42 yards and a touchdown, caught for 28 yards and a touchdown, a couple of tackles, 1 for loss, a 46-yard kick return, and 2 punt returns for 42 yards.
And he was probably playing safety too.
Yeah, so
he's a good athlete. He's a really good athlete.
Yeah, Papio, we weren't quite sure with losing kind of the guys that were their identity.
I was sure
last year.
I like them a lot.
Yeah, what it was going to look like losing him because he was such a big part of what they did. But
running
the pieces around him are very much
their line and replacing your quarterback too.
Yeah, their line is pretty big and good. I mean, their line's good. They were my dark horse sleeper or whatever you want to call it coming into like. I thought they weren't talked about enough after going to their practice and seeing them. I was like, yeah, these guys, like, if they can stay healthy, because their top line's pretty good. Like, and the running game will come. I think they got a nice freshman running back that's just waiting his turn over there.
Yeah, everybody says he should be playing. Maybe they just want to keep him together.
Yeah, I mean,
I've heard enough about him for long enough. So,
yeah. I mean, they're winning. I mean, so you just kind of do what you do.
Be patient. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't really need him, I guess.
I know. And at the aforementioned, as we talked about earlier, Bellevue West, coming off a little bit of a humbler to Elk South, hanging in there at number 9.
Yep. And they're this early in the season, you still kind of give teams the benefit of the doubt a little bit until, the losses they have are, or the loss they have, not a bad loss. Like, again, we're high on Elkhorn South at this point, but they got to show they can hang with those teams a little bit better than they did in that week to kind of stay in the mix here. So that kind of rounds up. We talked about Central already, controlled that one.
10,
so
yeah,
we got two top 10 matchups this week, the Kearney trip to Millard South. And then the Omaha Central, Omaha North one. So you will be at Omaha Central, Omaha North.
Looking like Sautter. I'll be at Central North this year.
You looking at the votes?
It would take a miracle at this
point.
I'm
looking. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Yeah.
That's probably where I'll be.
Yeah, looking like that will be his game of the week. I'll be at Millard South Kearney, and then Damon will obviously.
I will be at Buell. Yes. I will be at Westside, Millard West. I think I know where.
How's that going to go?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Millard West probably a little better than
their record.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah,
they're big up front.
No, yeah,
they've got really good size
and multiple guys. It's just a matter of the one thing that coming out of that game, if you guys win it, Westside is, and I hate transitive property, but it's going to be, well, how many points did they score? Millard South only, shut them out. And I hate that.
Yeah.
But that's the only measuring stick that we have because Westside and Millard South don't play each other.
I think we'll probably learn more about Millard West from that game. Were they able to figure out anything in that Millard South game that can apply to the following
But people are going to say that.
100%.
And it's, I'm not a huge fan of that, but at the same time,
yeah, with such small schedules, it's unfortunate we won't have that matchup during the regular season to find out for sure. So we'll just have to talk about it. That's what we do on this pod, and we'll talk about those games next week.
Were you surprised that there weren't others receiving votes?
Not really. I mean, who? Think about it.
I think any of these other teams, they
still have a lot, like Papio-South maybe is in that conversation of a receiving votes.
One of those
Millard West is 0-2. Yeah, I mean, you got to win some games here, right? Northeast is 2-0, but played Bryan and
Okay. Yeah. So we hop down to Class B and
run through that real quick.
Lo and behold,
not too much change, but Bennington. They gave up a touchdown. 21-7 was the final.
Gretna scored on them.
Yeah. What's that? You said last year
21
you need to get
points,
21
man.
to have a chance.
I said it last year. I'll say it again. To have a chance to beat them, you got to get to 21. I'm not sure it's gonna be really hard for people to get to 21, in my opinion. They had Hastings though this week. Hastings throws it around, spreads it out a little different.
There's a team here coming up that I thought had a good win that is actually built to give them some problems if they were to see one another because they can throw it around the yard pretty good.
Oh, Gretna?
Seward.
Oh, Seward.
Yeah.
They have a huge. That game is a big game this week for Seward, but
we'll get to that. We'll get to
that. Well, that defense, they gave up 1.5 yards per carry and sub 50 completion percentage. So yeah, defense very much for real. Cooper Johnson had a huge game on offense for them. 5 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown there. So Bennington doing what they do. Skutt also doing what they do. 42-0 against Lincoln Standing Bear.
I mean,
Dylan Van Dyke played 2 quarters, complete all 7 of his passes, 153 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then Joe Kaliga, 4 catches, 120 yards, and those 3 touchdowns, which tied the school record.
One of their leading receivers last year and coming back. So
he can go get it, man.
Nice setting records, only playing half a game, right?
Yeah.
Skutt, they looking off the solid start to the season. They have Plattsmouth on Friday. You were Elkhorn North.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Elkhorn North, York. Right? Yeah, they took it to York.
How about
York's
Beachy?
a tough York. Yeah, Ethan Beachy throwing it around like deep ball, like kids going up making plays and stuff. I mean, he was pretty impressive. Can run it too. Like throws it really nice for a junior. Really nice leader. Talked to him after the game and pretty positive about his teammates and what they were able to do. So. Alex Uckman had a really good. I mean, basically everyone had a good game for Elkhorn North.
307 yards and 4 touchdowns for Beachy. Half those yards went to Uckman, like you mentioned, and 2 of those touchdowns. They had 4 different players with an interception on defense.
Yeah.
And Ian Christo, just sophomore, led the team with 13 tackles. So.
York's quarterback, he got a little bit danged up too, so that mattered.
So I think game of the week in Class B here. I almost went to this one. I didn't necessarily want to make the trip. I definitely should have. Gretna 52, Norris
setting records.
Yeah,
Michael Knudsen. Oh boy.
Yeah, we were saying, hey, before the year, we were like, hey, we got all these quarterbacks that haven't played. He was one, Braylon Warren was one. Now it's like, okay, yeah, I think that guy's probably pretty good.
I was 514 yards and 7 total touchdowns. Sound.
I watched that highlight tape. I text you guys.
Yeah.
The first throw he made on his highlight was awesome. It was across his body. It was tremendous. And then the rest of it, you watch, he's like, yeah, he's hitting dudes, but dudes are running wide open. So, and that's a credit to him finding them and connecting it. But
on the 514 yards, just on 29 attempts, he's 21 to 29
yeah,
passing.
We call that that's pretty chunky.
Yeah.
Speaking of chunky, Bryce Lakers again, 11
12.
catches, 312, 4 touchdowns. Through 2 weeks, he has 20 catches for 534 yards. And
that's a season
touchdowns.
For a lot of people.
Most people. Yeah, I mean that's more than Christian and Keenan had last year for you guys as your leading guys, and we know how good those guys are.
Gretna's got to figure out the defensively. It's something like they got to do something. They're really young defensively, especially the linebacker starting freshman, but they gotta find a way.
And who do they have this week? They have Blair.
I can't remember.
Gretna has Blair,
okay.
and I think that defense is probably why coaches bumped Elkhorn North up ahead of.
Yeah, because they did drop.
Yeah, they've rotated the last 2 weeks actually. Those two. So
45 points for Norris, impressive. They're still hanging around in the top 10 there at number 9, despite the 0-2 start.
Oh, the 2 teams they played.
That's.
How about Waverly?
Yeah,
they fall into that too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Seward, 35, Waverly 21 in that game.
Tristan Haas is a great quarter. He's a really good quarterback.
25 of 31 for 308 yards and 3 touchdowns, and 11 carries for 90 yards and another touchdown. And he had 6 tackles on defense.
I mean, they won't play each other, but it's down the road. But like that's an offense, and the way that they kind of like to play up front that I could see at least. I mean, I'd like to see Coach Kale Coach Kale.
Yeah.
I think Bennington.
Cam Leonard.
Have to prepare
kind
for at least.
Yeah.
Because Seward's offense is different.
They're not huge up front, but they got a tight end, they got a receiver. And I'm telling you, the quarterback's good.
And I think the key there is it was a 1-score game going in the fourth quarter, and they were able to control it. They shut them down, didn't give up points in the fourth. So they're not just aired out,
capable
shootout. They were able to win situationally there.
Big game for them. They host Pius, who Pius is the surprise in B. They're 2-0. And I think they're the surprise in Class B so far this year.
That's a non-district game too.
Volkmer. I saw
Volkmer didn't play. He got hurt. Or something.
I saw he only threw one pass and was out. So
they still won the game.
Yeah, so just kind of wonder about that moving forward, though. Hopefully he's okay.
That one might be a lot of points.
The aforementioned Waverly drops to 6. But then the team, was that you? It was one. I believe it was probably you. Did you tell me to keep an eye on Scottsbluff this year?
Well, I thought they were just normal, they'll be the normal selves, right?
Yeah.
Like run the ball. I mean, Kelly at quarterback was Jacob's guy. So,
it might have been Jacob.
Yeah,
it probably would have been.
Yeah. Might have been Jacob. But here they are sitting at number 7 and 2-0.
Yeah, 64-6 win over Lincoln Northwest. Took care of business there. Kelly at 10 touches, 136 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, they couldn't really at a 70-yard touchdown there. They got their key starters some rest. They didn't have to play very much in that game, so stay healthy moving forward. And this week they go to Crete. You mentioned Pius there at 8. They got that Seward game coming up. 35-28 win over Blair, despite their starting quarterback not able to play most of that game. And
Joey Andreessen had a big game.
He monster game there, 165 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground, 19 yards receiving, 6 tackles, a sack, and a pick. So both ways getting it done. He had a big week 1 as well. He is having a great season for them, and they'll have to rely on him even more moving forward.
Jump down to C1 real quick and C2 just because I want to touch on that Ashland Greenwood game turned out to be better than
a lot of people thought. Mm-hmm.
I think
the Ashland Greenwood, the first game against DC West, they had 4 or 5 turnovers. So,
still a bit of a problem in this one. And that probably was the difference in the game, but they found a way to take it to a pretty good Wahoo defense. Otherwise, they had
Wahoo defense. I'm a huge fan of that. And Kip Brigham had a huge game.
Yeah, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, 5 tackles, a pick on defense. Harrison Kruger had a monster game on defense, 14 tackles, 2 for loss, a pick. Also had caught 2 passers, 70 yards and a touchdown, 23 on the ground. So just a couple of guys that are doing it in every phase of the game there for them. Tanja's at 2 touchdowns, 232 yards. Spears, 9 catches, 118 yards, 8 tackles. Cal Kissinger, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns on as a receiver. But they gotta find some way to run the ball against good teams, and weren't able to do that against.
They lost Zimmerman last year.
Yeah, that's completely changes their identity. So,
couple new entrances too into C1 with Gothenburg starting 2-0 and probably game of the year up to this point with Cozad and Central City.
56-55
overtimes.
That's Noah Shoemaker, 8 touchdown passes, tying Baylor Shireman's record there. 391 yards at the game-winning 2-point conversion. And on the other side, Parker Zickman, 30 for 49 for 477 yards and 6 touchdowns. Imagine that. Throwing for almost 506 scores and
49 pass attempts. You get six tutties, and you.
Wyatt Dunn had 13 catches for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns as a receiver, and they lost.
That's incredible. I actually thought they may stay in the.
They did
get votes.
They were. I'm telling you, like it was 1 point off from being 10. It was virtually a tie.
And of course, I'm interested in Gothenburg too. So,
hey, 2-0.
Yeah.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Just kind of work your way there. I mean, that's what it is. The biggest game in C1 this week is Ashland Greenwood and SCOTUS. Yeah. That's a very big game.
No love lost there.
Yeah, AG need to bounce back. They need to get that win to kind of get this thing on track there.
So how about that
Auburn's
schedule
pretty
early
good too,
for Ashland Greenwood?
Auburn's pretty good. Like quarterback and run game.
Number 3 there, 2-0 start.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
What's the difference, do you guys think, between Battle Creek and Norfolk Catholic in C2?
I've seen Norfolk Catholic.
Yeah, I've seen them both.
That's right.
He went to Battle Creek's practice, so not a game. Battle Creek's huge. They're much bigger up front. But I think the athletes on the kind of outside and be able to run or hitter guys on defense is probably a little bit of a difference.
It's just another year I have to keep an eye out for my guys at Oakland Craig.
Yes, because Anderson's really good.
I'll mention him here in a second here as we wrap this up.
I feel like I'm. It's not like a Stanton thing, but I kind of do feel drawn to OC.
And their schedule kind of sets them up where, like, this first part, if they can stay healthy, they don't have a lot of depth. If they can stay healthy, and then the back end's a little harder. Yeah. But if they can kind of get through these first couple weeks healthy, then it lines up for a last handful of games that are a little harder.
Yeah. Want to wrap up with some shout-outs?
Yeah.
Sure. Got a few guys here.
That's kind of one of my favorite parts.
We're focused mostly on the larger classes here and obviously in the metro area, but I'd like to give some attention to some of the other guys that have big games. And Shadron running back Quinn Bailey, senior there, he's named a highlight going into the season. And this week in a 43-6 win over Valentine, 37 carries for 313 yards and 3 touchdowns. Caught a 35-yard pass, had 5 tackles and an interception on defense.
You seen the video of him squatting, right?
No, I didn't see it.
It says school record, like squat or hang clean or something. It was like 500 pounds. Ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
Imagine, pretty good athlete.
Yeah, kids in that class trying to tackle that guy.
Sorry, I cut you off on your.
No, you're good. No, he's a really impressive athlete. He's gonna have a monster year. It was really good last year. Mentioned Braylon Anderson, Oakland Craig, 65-21 win against North Bend Central. Only threw 12 passes, completed 10 of them for 305 yards and 6 touchdowns.
30 yards of completion?
6 touchdowns on 10 completions.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Also had a 23-yard rushing touchdown and played a little defense, had a pick.
Touchdown every 1.2 attempts.
He's pretty good. 75% in his 2 games.
So, yeah.
For 753 and 9
that's I'll take that average.
Yeah.
Goodness.
You mentioned the athletes, Norfolk Catholic. Connor Booth had to try to run against them in week 1.
Well,
did not have to run against them this week.
Maybe they ran around.
Yeah.
Not
16 carries, 259 yards, 4 touchdowns, in a 40-0 win against UTAN. So this is back to Connor Booth things. It's kind of what he's been doing there for Bishop Newman.
Well, that's a light work week. 16 carries.
Well, it's nice when you can get
get off the field, right?
Yeah. And then finally, Donovan Trumbull, Junior Jack Poppy, 10 catches, 192 yards, 4 touchdowns, 9 tackles on defense in a 52-26 win against Centura. Parker Volk stepping in there at quarterback, had a really big game as well, replacing a really good player in Jane Williams for them. So
Donovan Trumbull cracked the top 10 I saw too.
Yep, they're at number 9 after 2-0 start there, and Poppy's kind of the do everything guy for them. So that's a team to watch out for sure.
Well,
that's all I got.
That's another week of NEB Preps. It's always a good time with my man Jacob Padilla and Mike Sautter. We're on the rotation schedule, so next week it'll be just the gruesome twosome, and then we'll, the whole rotating.
I'm just here,
so you don't get fined.
Yeah.
Michael Jerome Sautter and Marshawn Lynch, who was living his best life, yucking it up on the sidelines this weekend.
Yeah, in the middle of the game.
Wasn't that wild? That was wild. You almost never.
The head coach. I'd be like, dude, get out of here.
That guy has to have the most interesting. He's just chilling all the time, just doing whatever he wants.
Day in the life of Marshawn Lynch. We'll be back next week with another edition of NEB Preps. Don't you dare miss us.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.